He says, I want to let her know for all the times that she saved me, I'm here tonight to let her know that anytime you're having anxiety, anytime you're feeling stressed, anytime you're feeling nervous, he says, know that I'm there and with you. This is a tough reading to do. Because you're telling me he's your daughter's father, right? But he still tells me that he had a lot of love for you here in this world. He says to me and Matt, he says, she doesn't like to think about me. She doesn't like to think about our relationship because it's so painful. And you did not expect for him to come through tonight. You were not expecting him to be here. And he says to me, Matt, he says, can you please let her know one thing before I start this reading? He says, can you please let her know that I'm sorry for hurting her? Because what's really tough is this. When he met you, he tells me that he had a reckless life here in this world. He says to me, Matt, he says, when I was here, and is it all right to tell you everything?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you everything then. Because he shows me, Shows will show me different visions, right, from back when they were here. And he shows me that he was a party animal here in this world. He shows me with, when I'm connecting with him, like beer bottles all over the place, like drinking alcohol when I'm connecting with him. And by the way, he thought he was like God's gift to women here in the physical world when I'm connecting with him.
Definitely.
Because he's showing me that there were like women with mattresses on their backs looking to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
He says to me, but Matt, he says, I got to let her know one thing. The moment that you met him, he tells me that you changed him, even though you don't think that you did. And it's crazy because he tells me you're so upset about so many of your years that you had given to him here in this world. Because when you first met him, and you correct me if I'm wrong, everybody said to you, he's not going to stay with you. He's not going to be with you. There's no way that he can love you.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
He says to me, Matt, you need to let her know that I'm coming through from the other side for one reason. He says, I need to let her know that my love for her was real. But there was one thing that got in the way. And it just didn't get in the way of my love. It got in the way of our relationship. It got in the way of every single thing within my life. He says, and that was my addiction issues here in this world.
Definitely.
He keeps telling me, Matt, I tried to get better. I tried to get better. I really did. I really did. Because he just showed me seeing doctors and seeing nurses and like seeing different people. And he shows me at one point he did, because he shows me he was like he keeps telling me 6 months. It was like a 6-month stretch. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So know that one of the things is that he tells me this. He says that even though you couldn't see this, he says, I need to let her know that I really did try.
He did.
And the one thing that he also tried was to save your relationship here in the physical world, even though you feel like you were the one doing all the work. Yeah. He says, there's one regret that I have. And his biggest regret that he had here in this world was not being a better father. He says, and that's what you're upset with him. You hold on to this pain every single day, not because of you, but because of your daughter. He says, and I need to thank her for keeping me in their life. He says, you would try all the time to get your daughter to see him, to spend time with him. He says, but Matt, you need to let her know that that's my biggest regret, not hers. So know that one of the things is that he tells me, Matt, you know, my daughter never needed me. He said, because she had an amazing mother. He says, but the other thing is there's a whole nother part of this. He also tells me that he got into trouble here in this world.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I'm connected with him, I keep seeing police issues with him. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So know this. He just says to me, he goes, Matt, you need to let her know. He says that I'm coming through right now because I need to ask her so he says, I need to ask her for forgiveness. I need to ask her that if there's one thing that she can do is please forgive me.
I forgive him.
Because what you were seeing here in this world is you yourself were seeing the real him. Yeah. He says, but I lost that in myself years ago. I lost the kind person that I was, the caring person that I was. He says, because all I was worried about was the drugs here in the physical.
Yeah, he had a fentanyl overdose.
I got to tell you something. When I'm speaking to him, I asked him, I said, did you mean to do this? Did you mean to end your life? And what he tells me is this. He says, Matt, at the end, things had gotten so bad with me. He says, I didn't care what happened to me. Yeah. I didn't care if I took too much. I didn't care what I did. And he's bringing that through.
Yeah.
So know that what he wants you to know is this. At the end of his life, when he had passed away, because he's showing me the autopsy report that's here, there was all these questions over what had happened. He's saying, I was done not being careful. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
That's what he's telling me.
Yeah.
Meaning that he was careful for all this time, watching what he took, how he took it, what he did. And he says, at the end, I said, screw it.
Yeah.
So first of all, he wants to also thank you for the way that you allow your daughter to know the good part of him. to know the man that you saw and who he really was. And he's bringing that through. He says, please let her know, Matt, that I do care about her, that I do love her. He says, and this is my way of letting her know that I'm here today to talk without the addictions, to let her know that I'm okay, I am safe and at peace, and my soul is always there and by her side. Can you come here and give me a hug?
Yes.
I really hope that this helped you. He says to me that you struggle every single day with your anxiety. You struggle every single day because of what happened with him. He says, Matt, I needed her to know this. He says, every day you have anxiety. He can't believe that you're even here right now because this is so not your thing, being in front of people, putting out your story like this. He says, but Matt, he says, I want to let her know for all the times that she saved me, I'm here tonight to let her know that anytime you're having anxiety, anytime you're feeling stressed, anytime you're feeling nervous, he says, know that I'm there and with you. He says, you're not going through life alone. I'm there and by your side.